Because when I wrote my book, I couldn't remember putting it in, so it wasn't in there. So I did check in Ruben's pathology. You see in there. So I checked in Now I want to talk now about disease X, which is on this website here. This is the World Economic Forum site as far as I can derive. Disease X, this is how we should prepare for the next big virus. Wow. So this, you can listen to it here or you can read it there. It's all very easy to understand while being rather difficult to understand. Now, disease X, I've been teaching this sort of thing pretty well full time since 1990. And I've been a clinical nurse since 1975 when I was a first year student. And I'd never heard of this disease X. So I looked at some of my books because when I wrote my book, I couldn't remember putting it in. So it wasn't in there, but I could easily miss it, couldn't I? So I did check in Ruben's pathology. These are the definitive texts. Couldn't see it in there either. So I checked in Guyton and Hall's superb physiology book. Not in there either. Horth's pathophysiology. Not in there either. It's a fairly thick book. You think it could be in there somewhere. You get the idea. Not in that one. I can hardly pick this one up. Pathophysiology. All these standard textbooks, not in there, so it must be a new disease. Can't say I like the sound of a new disease. We've had a new disease already, haven't we? Anyway, this is just, I want to give you some highlights from the Radio Davos talk. Disease X is looming. The world needs to be better prepared to tackle a future pandemic. And you'll see here that the text is from the World Economic Forum site. They go on to say, by mapping viruses with the potential to become the next disease X, the global health community and governments, governments can be more responsive the next time a pandemic looms. Looks like they're anticipating another pandemic here. Global collaboration and adequate funding are needed to improve pandemic preparedness and ensure fast action to keep a viral outbreak at bay. It says you can get a long way being able to produce something. Not quite sure what's being produced, but you can produce something or other that will target a novel virus before that virus even emerges. I assume here they're referring to repurposed drugs, which could be rolled out very quickly and very cheaply and may be efficacious against a range of conditions. Maybe that's what they mean. But anyway, they're going to produce something. Can't read too much into that. All they say is something. Could even mean a vaccine. I don't know, whatever they mean there. Anyway, that will target a novel virus before that virus even emerges. It's a virus we don't know yet, but we do know it's out there. Do we? But we do know it's out there. Now, unfortunately, much to my annoyance and your annoyance, I felt compelled to delete yesterday's video. My apologies. The trick is to live to fight another day. That's what we aim for. But the video I was doing yesterday was examining a particular virus that was experimentally used to infect mice, caused a disease of the brain. And at the end of the study, none of the mice at the end of the study were alive anymore. None of them were alive anymore because a certain event had happened to them that made them not alive. And that virus, my understanding from reading of the paper, was it evolved in cell cultures in a laboratory. So as a result of going through cell cultures in a laboratory, the function of the virus had been increased. it would appear, it became a more functional virus. There was a function, and there was potentially an increase, maybe even a gain. Anyway, but we know it's out there. So they know it's out there. Obviously, they don't know a precise geographical location, but we know it's out there. And we know it has the potential to spill over from animal populations potentially into humans. Well, yeah, there can be natural spillover events, of course. There can also be other origins of viruses. Perhaps mutate or adapt itself and then begin spreading and killing people faster than we can contain it. Carrying out research and vaccine development. Carrying out research and vaccine development for known viral families could impact humans, of which there are 25 viral families, they're saying, would give humanity a decided advantage over the next disease, X. So who knows, maybe the World Economic Forum will be good enough to develop a vaccine for us great unwashed, so it's all ready for us. I'll leave it with you. Read the article for yourself, it's all there. All there, yep. From Radio Davos. Quite concerning, really, a disease X. They seem to think it's coming. Let's hope they don't know too much more than us. We'll leave it there.
This is one of the laboratories at Porton Down where
scientists are working to prevent future pandemics. It's located at Porton Down, a high-security research facility best known for its work on chemical warfare. Experts are preparing for what is known as Disease X, or the next pandemic virus. Our health correspondent Dominic Hughes was given rare access to the facility.
the delicate task of protecting the nation's health. This is one of the laboratories at Porton Down where scientists are analysing current threats, new variants of COVID for example, and trying to identify new ones. Inside these purpose-built labs, more than 200 scientists working for the UK Health Security Agency are helping to develop and test vaccines against a range of diseases. It's vital work to keep us all safe.
We've got in many respects the toughest job in the world, which is to protect health against infectious diseases and environmental hazards. And it is tough because we know that the risks of new and emerging infections, including those of pandemic potential, is increasing.
For decades, scientists at Porton Down have been involved in medical research, as well as the work on chemical and biological warfare, for which the centre is perhaps better known. During the pandemic, laboratories like this one played an absolutely vital role in assessing how effective the vaccines were in combating the coronavirus, and that work continues today. But as well as monitoring how effective existing vaccines are against new COVID variants, the new Vaccine Development and Evaluation Centre is looking at emerging threats for which no vaccine yet exists. One of those is Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, a virus that is spread by the bite of an infected tick and is fatal in about 30% of cases. A serious outbreak occurred in Afghanistan in 2017, but the disease is widespread across Africa, Asia, the Middle East and the Balkans. Changes to climate and the way we live mean viruses like this one could find a way to the UK. But equally, the next pandemic could be caused by a virus that has yet to be identified, what experts call Disease X. Dangers known and unknown. These scientists will be working to make sure we're prepared for both.
Das Ganze wurde schon 2012 vom Pentagon des Verteidigungsministeriums einen Namen dazu, den ich schon öfter gemacht habe.
Sie haben im Dezember 2018, also exakt vor 5 Jahren, eine inszenierte Corona-Pandemie für das Jahr 2020 vorausgesagt. Und 5 Jahre später müssen wir feststellen, dass alle Ihre Voraussagen eingetroffen sind. Und Sie sagen jetzt, eben 5 Jahre später, voraus, dass eine neue Verbrechensplanung abläuft, die gleich oder größer wie Corona ablaufen soll.
Was jetzt kommt und geplant wird, ist etwas Ähnliches, was wir mit Corona erlebt haben, mit Viren. Es wird etwas vorbereitet, welches das Hauptmotiv Bakterien drin haben wird. Und es ist mindestens eine so große Verbrechensplanung mit das, was wir mit Corona erlebt haben. Und jetzt haben wir es, dass eine solche Aufrüstung, kann man es vielleicht nennen, wieder passiert. Es ist so wie eine Aufrüstung vor einem Weltkrieg. Ja? Wie früher halt zum Zweiten Weltkrieg vielleicht Panzer produziert worden sind, werden heute Proteine, Eiweißstoffe von Bakterien produziert. Und da werden riesige Fabriken gerade jetzt in der Gegenwart aufgebaut. Wir wissen ja, dass Bakterien tatsächlich krank machen können, und zwar auch sogar auch tödlich krank machen können. Und was macht da tatsächlich krank? Das sind Eiweißstoffe, die Bakterien produzieren. Das sind Proteine oder auch Toxine, Gifte werden es auch genannt. Und heute kann man gentechnisch genau diese Bakteriengifte nachbauen. Also den genetischen Plan hat man über Jahrzehnte erforscht in der Biowaffenforschung und weiß genau, wie richtig massentödliche Bakterien diese Bakteriengifte produzieren. Und wenn ich sage massenhaft, dann sind es Größenordnungen, die Millionen und sogar Milliarden von Menschen vergiften können und wahrscheinlich auch sollen. Es soll also ein Bakterienterror kommen. Und genau einen solchen Bioanschlag unter falscher Flagge, der wird eben geplant. Also wenn man sich das Szenario vorstellt, was kommt als erstes, dann wird als erstes es heißen, oh, jetzt sind ganz viele Menschen krank geworden durch Bakterien, durch Killerbakterien, durch Bakterien, die jetzt so schlimm sind, wie wir das noch nie gesehen haben.
Die zum Beispiel im Wasser sind oder durch einen Terroranschlag ausgebracht werden. Oder
ja. Da gibt es viele Möglichkeiten. Wenn man da systematisch rangeht, dann gibt es entweder die Möglichkeit, man sagt, das war absichtlich, zum Beispiel Terroristen. Das können grüne Terroristen sein, die die Weltbevölkerung halt reduzieren wollen. Ja. Man kann da Russland oder Nordkorea oder China beschuldigen, ja, das Ganze, die ganzen Sachen. Also absichtlich Terror oder unabsichtlich, ja, dass man sagt, diese Bakterien sind durch den Klimawandel gekommen. Und da gibt es auch ganz konkrete Übungen, die durchgeführt worden sind. So wie wir das bei Corona mit Event 201 hatten, so wie wir das bei Anthrax hatten mit Dark Winter, gibt es auch jetzt zu den neuen Bakterien wieder halt neue Übungen. Und sozusagen die Hauptübung habe ich in meinem Buch genau beschrieben. Ja? Um es kurz zu bringen, heißt es aufgetaute Bakterien vom Südpol oder vom Nordpol.
Weil es wärmer wird, menschengemachte Erderwärmung, das passt ja wunderbar auch in die neue WHO-Konzeption One Health, richtig, wo es darum geht, dass eben die Erde wärmer wird und neue Krankheiten oder alte neue Krankheiten, aufgetaute Bakterien wieder zurückkommen.
Ganz genau. Und das steht da wirklich halt drin in diesen Szenarien. Und wieder am Tisch sitzen die gleichen Institutionen und auch die gleichen Personen sogar zum Teil, wie bei Corona und bei Anthrax. Also die Johns Hopkins Universität, Thomas Inglesby, die CIA sitzt wieder mit am Tisch, USAID. Also wir haben dann arktische Entwicklungshilfe auch mit drin. Und es ist eine große Chance, dass wir jetzt besser aufgestellt sind, es sagen zu können, wer es plant, wie es durchgeführt werden soll und dass wir das sogar in besserer medialer Form, gedruckt wie auch online, ausbreiten können.